Namaskar. So we're gonna create Drogon from Game of Thrones, and he is not a full-grown character. We are going to create a teenage version of him. We will be covering all the details. So this video will be divided into four parts, and this is the part one. And it will take time to create him, and he's little difficult, but I'll try to explain as much as possible. So first thing is what we are going to create is what we need is a metal wire. You can get that at any hardware shop, and I have added some tape and paper on it, also some plastic. The clay that we are using is Fevicryl Mouldit, so we don't need to use any kind of aluminum foil because this clay dries on its own. No need to use aluminum foil. So Fevicryl Mouldit usually comes in two parts, that is the resin and the hardener, and you have to mix both of them in same quantity. Now what I'm doing is I'm just measuring how much of clay I'm gonna need to make this. First I'll attempting only to create the net. Now the thing is that take only required amounts of things. If you take too much clay, then there are chances that it will go waste. Now after you mix it, it becomes completely white. You can watch more tutorials about this clay on my channel. I'm not covering it in here because that might make the video very long. So like this shape that you have to make right now, something which is very easy, and you can see what I'm doing over here is I'm taking small amounts of clay, small parts of clay, and I'm putting them in this shape, and then I'm adding it on the neck. If you watch the previous video, that I had shown that his neck has some scales like this. So we had to make the scales like this. There are no shortcuts for making this. So the only thing is that making this is quite a bit troublesome for first time or maybe many times as well. I still find it troublesome, but it gives a good result. You can see like this. So I have created this, and what I am doing right now is I am using the sponge because since it's a dragon body, a living thing's body, you can see it has a lot of textures on his skin. There are scales, there are other skin textures. You can see it over here. You can get a good texture using the sponge. You can make it smooth, but making it smooth is bit I don't know, that ruins the look. So like this I am giving it more textures. I'm adding some wrinkles on his skin. There are no rules for doing this. You can use a spatula, you can also use a pin tool to do this. It is something which is very easy, not much difficult. And once after that is done, you have to make sure that you keep it to dry it for around 2 hours. Don't go to attempt the further process. I'll just add some more of the lines, some more detailing to it. It is important to do this because we can get a great realistic look if we keep on doing this. You can see over here. Sorry for if there is any disturbance in the noise because it's raining outside. But yes, I guess this is enough. So now you can see I had kept it to dry for about 2 hours, and now it is completely dried up. And I also added a new layer of his scales over here. Didn't explain that again because that is the same thing which we did in the previous one. So for the face, what I'm gonna do is add some more clay for the face over here, and I'm gonna add his eyes. Take small amounts of clay, small drops of clay, not drops, I'll just say small parts of clay, amounts of clay, and I'm adding it on its eye part. Like this here. We have to make these eyeballs, right? And once that is dry completely, you can see it over here, it's completely dried out. It took around 2 hours to dry. I'm moving towards the further part, that is I'm gonna make the face. You have to act a bit fast over here since this clay dries in about, or this clay completely hardens in about 1.5 to 2 hours. So what you have to do is now start making the face. Now my suggestion is to make the lower part of the face first and then add clay to the upper part. That it becomes easy. And now since her eye is completely dried up, it is easy to make the face. Because if our eye wasn't dried up and it wouldn't have been hard, it would have been soft. So whenever I add clay on it, the eye face would have got distorted. The eye shape would have got distorted. Now you can see what I am doing, trying to smoothen it up. Use only water to smoothen it up, like this. The people who are using, I don't know, powder or something, stop doing that. There is no use for doing anything like that. Just use your hands, add some water on your hands, don't make it too watery, and this clay is easy to handle. Like this, I'm just trying to give some details over here. If you have watched the snake video tutorial, I had made a snake before. Do watch that tutorial. That will give you an idea how I made the scales and everything. Simply with that power spatula, I've made the mouth over here. Making the face can be tricky at start, but if you're familiar working on this clay, then that won't be an issue. Hence, my suggestion is to first create simpler characters. I have made some tutorials, you can watch them, and I have made simpler characters over there. You try those out. Then only you can make complex characters like this. Drogon is not an easy character, I am saying this at start only, because it is difficult to create him. There are a lot more details which are included in him, and we have to make all that again and again. So like this, you can see over here with a lot of sculpting, not sculpting, just giving a shape to the clay. Thing is that there is you can see, I don't know, because I don't know how to show this. I don't know how to explain this, like this only. Now what here I am doing, I am using a paint tool to expand the eyes. There are chances that your eyes might get covered inside the clay. So what I am doing is just use the paint tool to make the eyes more proper. I'll also add some detailing to the face. I'll use a sponge, and I'll also add some scales to the face with the help of a spatula or a paint tool. You can see your similar like this. This is not something difficult, and what you have to do is keep on observing the image, or keep on seeing the videos. Take his images from various sites. You might get those on Google, or also you can keep on watching his videos where he's shown from different angles, so that you can understand how his body functions are, how his body anatomy is. Now once after the whole neck and the face part is done, what I am doing is I mix some little bit larger amount of clay, and I am making his body. Body mainly includes the chest and the waist part. You can see over here I am just currently adding the clay, and then I'll also merge the clay on his neck. You can use a water to make the clay a little smoother, and then you can merge it like this. You can make the clay completely smooth with the help of water. Like, see what I'm doing here? I'm taking some water and I'm merging it with the neck. Something which is quite easy, and you can use this merging technique at almost each and every parts of your videos or of your creations. So what I'm doing here is I'm also giving some wrinkle scales, mainly the texture to his body as well, because it also deserves to get texture. Try to get a similar texture to each and every part of his body. And don't make the mistake of doing one texture to one part and do another texture to another part. You can see till here we are ready, and I feel now that we should stop it for this one video, because this is enough that we have done. So my suggestion is to create this, and you let me know if you have any doubts.